What's up, guys? Time Jim here, back with you again with another video. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done a video, but I've been relatively busy this year, and a lot of it has to do with going to the movies. And I've been to the movie theater a lot this year, quite a lot this year, and I've seen quite a bit of movies. I enjoyed all of them, but since it's the end of the year, I thought I would do a sort of a best of my best of 2017 movies that I've seen this year. And not all of these movies have come out this year, and this isn't necessarily a list from bad to worse because I thought all of these movies were really good, either really good or fantastic. But I don't think I did not see a bad movie this year, in my opinion. I thought all of these movies were really good. Now, some of these movies that I picked that are on this list some of you may consider them really bad movies, some of you may not. But this is my list, this is my opinion. So, without further ado, enjoy the list. Now, a little disclaimer with this list. I still haven't seen all the movies I wanted to this year. Such as Baby Driver. Have not seen Baby Driver. Have not seen Dunkirk, and have not seen any of the War of the Planet of the Apes. Now I plan on seeing War of the Planet of the Apes in a box set very soon. I plan on getting that very soon, and Dunkirk and Baby Driver I plan on seeing sometime after the new year. But I will plan on seeing those. So with that out of the way, let's go on and get on with the list. So first up. Starting from bottom to top, going from I've seen 13 movies this year, so from 13 to number 1. All right, so at number 13 is Kong Skull Island. I like this movie. It's a very action-packed movie. There's a lot of good lines in there. Kong's very awesome. He's huge, and yeah, it's not the traditional Kong movie that I'm used to. Reminds me of that old movie Kong 2 a little bit. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's not a great movie. There is some sort of hit and misses here, particularly with some of the predictability of the movie. I saw a lot of things coming with this movie. Sort of the setup leading toward it, I was like, yeah, that's gonna happen, and then like a few seconds later, it happened. So yeah, that's sort of the little bit of disappointment here, a little bit of a nitpick. That some of these first couple movies here, you're gonna hear me use that word nitpick a lot, because that's what sort of set apart the movie from a great movie. So, but it's not a bad thing. I am very excited about seeing how this sets up for a kaiju style universe movie with Godzilla and King Ghidorah, those type of kaiju characters. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. But overall, this movie is good. It's not great, but it's good, and this is why it sits at number 13. Number 12 is It. I really liked It. I like the horror genre as in general, but in my opinion, the horror genre has gotten kind of stale. It has sort of shown me that what I'm hoping for is that the horror genre goes into this more storytelling type of, trend, for lack of a better word. I really did love the storytelling in this movie. Now, compared to the last one, the last It, back in the 80s, it kind of tapered off toward the end. So we'll see what happens there with the adult version of it. But the beginning, when they were kids, when the group was with the kids, very story driven, not very scary, but very story driven. There are some really creepy parts, but jump scares here and there. But the storytelling was done good, and that's what I'm looking forward to. It's just good storytelling and having that sort of like creepiness factor in there as well. And, the jump scares. Well, I guess that's a given because it is sort of a monster movie, so you're gonna have a scary jump scare every now and then. But yeah, it was a good movie overall. I really enjoyed the movie. Humorous, very very humorous. But overall, I thought it was a good movie. Like I said, little nitpicks here and there about it, but overall, I liked it. So number 12, It. Number 11 is Wonder. I enjoyed this movie. It's a very heartfelt movie. It's a very, inspiring movie. It's a very, you know, sit down with your family, enjoying type of movie. The whole family's going to enjoy it at some point. There's something there in there for everyone to enjoy and sort of relate to, and just a good overall, casual walkthrough through someone's life. The nitpick I have about this one, there's nothing outstanding about this movie. There's nothing that sets it apart from anything else. There was no like really wow factor for it. There's no really, amazing part, actor who made like, oh my gosh, they did a fantastic job in there. Everyone did their parts well, but no one did their parts fantastic or amazingly, which, while that's not necessarily a bad thing, I really want to be wowed when I'm in a movie. While this is a very subtle type of good movie, it's not a great movie. So, yeah, number 11 is Wonder. Number 10, this is going to surprise people why it's so far down at the bottom, but number 10 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, I love Spider-Man. I love the MCU. Fantastic, universe and franchise. I absolutely love it. I talk about it all the time with my friends and family and whatnot. Spider-Man was my least favorite MCU movie this year. And the reason why, and probably the biggest nitpick I have, the two biggest nitpicks I have about this movie. One, there's a little bit too much Iron Man for my taste. There's just too much. In other words, he's taken the place of Uncle Ben, which I didn't really care for, and that sort of leads me into the second reason why I didn't really place this one very high above the others. Was because the whole power and responsibility thing was totally left out. In my opinion, is that the whole power and responsibility thing is like the core of Spider-Man. Is part of who he is his character, is what drives him to do what he does as Spider-Man. Totally absent from the movie. I think that whole thing is the core of who he is, and from that being absent from the movie, from his character, really sort of dissuades me from having this be it up further, because to me that's who Spider-Man is, and that's it. Overall, though, the movie was great. The action was great. Michael Keaton as the Vulture was phenomenal. I thought he played a great Vulture. Yeah, the fights were really good. The storyline was very good. It was just those two things, nitpicks, that I just couldn't look past. So, number 10, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Number 9. The reason why I'm laughing is because let's just say this recent movie has had a lot of controversy behind it. There's a lot of division with this movie, and this movie is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Okay, so Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I love this movie. I really did. I love this movie. Like I said, there's a lot of division between Star Wars fans, whether they love it or hate it. I personally loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The visuals in this movie were fantastic. The fight scenes were, amazing. They were just truly amazing. The story was well done. There was a lot of twists and turns here in the movie, but overall, it's a great roller coaster ride. The only reason why I put it so low, and it's a nitpick, but it's a significant nitpick in my opinion, much like number 10, Spider-Man. the sort of homages to the previous movies. You know, the what you hear in have heard in every Star Wars movie, almost every Star Wars movie, since the very beginning. The catchphrases, the sort of the situation they're put in and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff there that was missing, and I really missed those things, and that was the only real reason why I put it so low. Other than that, I thought it was a excellent film. I can't wait to watch it again. And yeah, again, there's a lot of division between this movie and stuff like that, but all in all, it's a great movie, and I can't wait for the final installment of the Skywalker sort of story. A lot of people think the Skywalker story is ended. It kind of has, kind of hasn't. We'll see how that goes. Spoiler, sorry, bit of a spoiler there, but yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know. I'm making some hate for this, but yeah, I enjoyed it at number 9. Number 8, another really action-packed movie, and a run I really didn't. I enjoyed the first movie, so this one was pretty much a no-brainer. John Wick Chapter 2, I should say. John Wick. Wow. I mean, the first John Wick, I see. The thing is with me in movies, sometimes I get a feeling about a movie. I don't think I should pay attention to it because, I get sort of a gut feeling from seeing the trailers and stuff. In this instance, I didn't get a good feeling about Keanu Reeves, which is a shame because, and a big fault of mine because he played John Wick in there will never be another character or actor who can play John Wick. Keanu Reeves is John Wick. He is amazing in this role. He plays the role perfectly. And John Wick 2, hands down is one of the best action films out there right now. Enough said. The story was fantastic because it deals it deals a little twist on the sort of revenge type of thing, because now the revenge isn't for really personal reasons, it's for business reasons, and yeah, it's just a great story. There's a lot of twists and turns here and there. The ending has me really excited for the next installment. I can't wait to see how that goes down, how his character will end up at the end of that movie. If that will be the final installment for the movie, for that franchise. And if it is, it would just be a very, it would definitely be a good closing of the book of that character and of the franchise, because I don't see how you can take it further, but we'll see how that happens. I enjoyed the movie altogether. A lot of good action scenes, a lot of gunfighting, a lot of good hand-to-hand combat coordination there. Just a great movie altogether. John Wick 2 at number 8. Number 7 is Lego Batman. The Lego Batman movie. So if you're a DC fan, you know there's been a lot of sort of controversy with a lot of the DCEU stuff, or whatever kind of universe they're calling it now. This movie here is a love letter to all Batman fans. Not just all Batman fans, to all DC fans. This is such a great movie. I love this movie. There's a lot of, funny homages to previous Batman movies and previous, the TV show, to the character in general, just like in the comics and just all these things put together, and to nerds in general, there's a lot of cool stuff that are put in here, and it's just a fun movie. It's a funny movie. It put a big smile on my face once when I saw it, and very, very cool stuff. I hope they make a number 2 with this. I'm hoping they make a number 2 with this with Superman, and sort of an homage to his character. and make it very fun with that. I know the games have done a lot with that, but I really want to see a Lego Superman movie where we play a lot of homage to that and make sure they bring the character to who he really is. It's just to sort of brighten a lot of the DC fans' sort of doom and gloom they've been with lately, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, one of my favorite DC movies of all time is Lego Batman, the Lego Batman movie. Number 6 is Thor Ragnarok. Now, Thor Ragnarok, this could have been up in the top 5. I was debating whether or not to put it in the top 5 because it came very, very close. But the reason I put it at number 6, in a way, why it just missed the mark as far as number 5 for the number 5 movie, is the fact that, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually just a very small nitpick. It's not even consequential at this point. The movie was basically two storylines put together. It's Planet Hulk and Thor Ragnarok. And while they did a good job mixing the two, I really, really, really wanted a Planet Hulk movie standalone. And it's like I said, it's a very small, insignificant nitpick because they did such a good job of blending the two stories together. But now I really want a Planet Hulk, standalone movie, or a Hulk standalone movie where it has a storyline, much like Planet Hulk, possibly a World War Hulk movie. I really would like to see that. But that's the only really nitpick that I have about this movie. Other than that, this movie is fantastic. It's funny. It has a lot of character. There's a lot of surprises that happens toward the end. A lot of consequences. What's going to happen in the MCU later on down the line. The ending I did not expect a lot of that stuff to happen, especially at the end. I was hoping for a very, this is how the typical MCU is. Oh, nope. Oh, okay, that happened. Okay, then that's actually really bad. So, yeah, I can see where sort of the complaint, and maybe not complaints, but the concerns about how the DCU always ended up having their movies where nothing really has any consequence. Yeah, there's a consequence here, and that's what I really enjoyed about this movie. So number 6, Thor Ragnarok. Number 5, and the reason why number 5 is the way is where it is just it's the beginning that always makes me happy, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I love Baby Groot. I'm just going to say it right now. I love Baby Groot. He's awesome. I love him. He's just my favorite character in the entire series. Yeah. The whole dancing scene with Mr. Blue Sky. That song is just, it warms my heart every time I see it, every time I think about it. It brings a big smile to my face. I love that scene. I just love it. It's one of my favorite scenes of all time. As far as the movie goes, I could watch that over and over again, and it still makes me smile. But the movie as a whole, it follows the same formula as The Last Guardians. Nothing wrong with that. Ego as a villain was a great villain. There's more connection there with some of the characters. Some of the characters got to develop a little bit more, which is great. Overall, which is a great, fantastic movie. I enjoyed the heck out of it, and I watched it another couple times. I still loved it every single time I watched it. And what more can I say than I just absolutely adored the movie, and that's why it sits at number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 4, again, this will be a lot of controversial type of movie, but I loved it, and it's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Okay, so Wonder Woman, I think with the DCEU, okay, yeah, DCEU, this movie should have been the setup for the entire DCEU, in my opinion. Had fans seen this, at the very beginning, this was made before Man of Steel. This would have set the precedence for the entire franchise, and I think the mind state of the whole MCU versus DCEU argument would be a lot more positive. It'd be a lot more competition based instead of a lot of bickering between the two. And that's what I really wanted with the Wonder Woman, because it was, in my opinion, it was a great movie. The directing was fantastic. The message, of hope and, just Wonder Woman is my favorite character, DC character in the entire DC universe. Bottom line, she's my favorite. And to have her in this in this movie, sort of spreading the same message of peace and fighting for what's right and stuff. So much like Captain America. That's why the reason I like her, because she follows sort of the same line of thinking as Captain America. And yeah, she's the movie was just fantastic. The action scenes were great. The stuff leading up to the ending was fantastic. It's just a great storytelling altogether. It wasn't preachy about stuff. It wasn't, I was afraid of that stuff, but there was nothing really preachy about it. It was just a good action movie. My biggest complaint about this movie was the use of slow-mo in certain scenes, and that sort of why it sits at sort of at number 4 instead of the top 3. Excuse me. Is because of the slow-mo stuff. Really, really unnecessary. And sort of reminds me of the Zack Snyder school of filmmaking, where slow-mo is awesome. Let's put it in everything, in every movie. And, that's what's going to make it fantastic. It doesn't need to be in every movie. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Let the story tell its own. You don't need fancy stuff to put it in there. Just let the story be on its own. That's the only really nitpick why it's at number 4 instead of number 3. But yeah, number 4, Wonder Woman. Number 3. Okay, so we're in the top 3 now, guys. Now, 3, 2, and 1. What sets apart good movies from great movies, in my opinion, is how emotionally invested you are in the movie. And if the movie grabs you emotionally, not just in a sad way, but it's just in any other way, it could be a fear, it could be happiness, it could be some sort of other relatability that you have in a personal level, that's what makes it a great movie. And number 3, Get Out. Oh man. Get Out really got under my skin. Like, it was super creepy. Just a lot of the stuff, a lot of the fear that, you can have over someone putting you under hypnosis. Oh, it's super creepy, because the mind is a very powerful thing, guys. It's a super, super powerful thing. I recently learned about this, just how powerful the mind can be, how a positive mind can make you a better person, make you a stronger person. And, all that negativity, it's bad for you. But what I'm trying to say here is that the mind is super powerful, and in the wrong hands of someone who knows how to manipulate your mind, yeah, that's a scary thing. And yeah, this movie is fantastic. I've never would have thought a comedian like Jordan Peele, right, would direct something so twisted in this movie. It's very under your skin type of feeling with this movie, and hats off to the guy, man. He did a fantastic job directing this movie. He nailed the actors. All the actors were perfect for this role. I don't think there's a bad acting job in the entire movie. There's not one. All of them hit the nail right on the head. It's a great movie. Go see it. It's fantastic. It's at number 3. The only reason why there's is at number 3 because I think there's two other movies that I enjoyed even more that spoke to me just a little bit more. So number 3, Get Out. Number 2. Now, number 2 could be easily be candidate for one of the best pictures of this year because the movie was just amazing. This movie was fantastic. I enjoyed every second of it, and it's probably one of the Disney's best of all time. And I probably just spoiled it right there. It's Coco. Coco. Wow, what an amazing movie. The movie just captures, especially if you're of Hispanic descent. Okay, the movie speaks to you in a way that no other sort of Disney movie does beforehand. A lot of the traditions of people of Hispanic descent are brought to light in this movie, and a lot of, I don't know if you can really call them stereotypes because some of the stuff that happens in there actually does happen, especially with the grandma and the chancla. That is not really a stereotype if it actually does happen. So, to borrow someone's phrase like that, it does happen like that. So, but in any case, it does speak to you because, tradition, the culture, just a lot of the things that happens in, Hispanic society, they put into the movie. And it speaks to you, or to me personally, because that's how it is. And the emotion behind all that, towards the end of the movie, I can relate to it because, remembering, honoring, someone, who has passed is a big part of our tradition. And, yeah, it spoke to me a lot. It was very, very cool, very emotional, but the movie is colorful. The great story is fantastic. The cast is phenomenal. And there's some music in there, but it's not super, super annoying like how Frozen is. I mean, Frozen's still a great movie, but it doesn't bombard you with, overly abusive, with music here and there and this and that. There's going to be songs everywhere in the movie. There's songs in there, but there's songs where it's really well placed. Like the songs needed to be there for a certain reason. And yes, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. Fantastic. I think it's one of the greatest Disney movies of all time, if not the greatest Disney movie of all time. I love Aladdin. Don't get me wrong. I love Aladdin. But I think this one may have edged out Aladdin because, well, quite frankly, it beat it out. So number 2, Coco. Number 1, this should not surprise anyone at all. Anyone. But this is my number 1 movie. This is when I first saw it, I thought, hands down, this is the movie of the year here. It has contention with Coco. Number 1 is Logan. Now, again, when you're emotionally invested in a movie or in a character, it sort of drives the point home with you. And with Logan, Hugh Jackman doing his role as Logan, as Wolverine, and doing his final bow for the role. Oh, man, what a performance, man. What a performance. The movie was fantastic. The emotional roller coaster that we saw, because we knew what was going to happen with the character that he was going to, this was going to be his final role. And sort of seeing that happen on the screen, for the last time, seeing him being the Wolverine for the last time. Now, he may not be, there's rumors that he may not be over the whole acquisition with Fox and Disney. He's rumored to come back for one final time. But it's just rumor or speculation right now. But as far as we know, this is the last time we'll see him as the Wolverine. And the way it happened at the end, yeah, I kind of got emotional with that. I got really emotional there. I mean, just to see that happen on the screen, I'm like, yeah. Whoever brought onions during the screening of the movie is a jerk. Yeah, the movie's fantastic. I can't wait to. I'm gonna watch it again soon. This time with the noir version, the black and white version. But yeah, in my opinion, Logan is the number one movie this year. Hugh Jackman did a fantastic role. The little girl who played X-23, Laura Kinney, did a really great job. Patrick Stewart as Xavier in this movie, it's just man, he just killed it, man. He did a fantastic job in that role as well. Pretty much his final role as Xavier, as well. God, this movie was amazing. You know, I can't gush about this movie enough. I love Logan. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, for shame. This movie is fantastic. It's especially if you're an comic book fan. This movie is just wow. So number one, Logan, for sure. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's it for my top 13 list of movies that came out this year, and my best of. So hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.